This is Chris with AO's. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with AO's, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw June 6th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now we kick off the show with Cody Rhodes coming out. And, of course, everybody knows at this point that he's injured. He torn his pec right off the bone. So pretty much any damage that he would have got last night, it would have never got damaged, even worse, because he torn it off the bone. So yeah. But here's what he was saying. He was talking about how he wants to thank everybody for, saying all those kind of stuff on Twitter and all that stuff. But he said he does this because he loves it and all that, and that he wants to be finished with Seth Rollins. Everything wants to be in the books and all that, and he wants to move on with his career. And he was talking about the one thing that's been eluding his career this whole time, and it was the Money in the Bank. So yeah, he was talking about the Money in the Bank, how he wants to actually go in and all that and win the Money in the Bank and actually cash in to become the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. So yeah, that's what he was talking about. And then all of a sudden Seth Rollins comes out, and Seth Rollins looks at me and goes like, you know what, after last night, after you already been injured and then you win against me inside Hell in the Cell and all that, I gotta tell you, I respect you. And he wants to shake hands with them. Both of them shook hands. Seth Rollins starts walking away. He walks backstage and all that. And Cody Rhodes then decides to leave out as well. He gets out the ring, starts walking up the ramp, turns his back to, thank everybody and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden Seth Rollins attacks him from behind using a sledgehammer, hitting him in the back or whatever. And then, rips off his shirt, puts his arm down, and then stomps on the torn bicep and starts poking it with a sledgehammer and all that. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then Seth Rollins walks away laughing, and then Cody Rhodes had to get helped up and all that. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I don't know what to say about it. All I know is Cody Rhodes is supposed to go into surgery Wednesday or Thursday, one of those. So yeah, but we're going to see what happens, and it looks like he'll be in the Money in the Bank. But yeah, there's multiple matches announced for tonight. The Usos versus the Street Profits later on tonight in a championship contenders match. Not only that, a Fatal 4-Way match with Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley versus Doudrop versus Alexa Bliss. Winner of that match will become the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. And Judgment Day will be announcing their newest member. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Becky Lynch versus Dana Brooke, one-on-one. This is the first match of the night. And, it was going on or whatever. But then in the middle of the match, we see the Kirizawa getting chased by Tamina, R-Truth, and all of them. Because, he is a 24/7 champion. He runs into the ring, and then he gets rolled up by Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke pinned him for the 3 count while she's in the match against Becky Lynch. So yeah, Dana Brooke became the new 24/7 champion, after that. And then Becky Lynch was like, no. If anybody's going to win championships in my matches, it will be me. So I win a match against the 24/7 championship right now, and none of you guys better not interfere in this, or I'm going to break y'all's faces. So yeah, that's what Becky Lynch said. And then we go on commercial break, comes back on, and the 24/7 title is on the line. So yeah, it was Dana Brooke defending the 24/7 championship against Becky Lynch. Biggest match for the 24/7 title, I guess. So yeah, during this match, we see Asuka walk out, theme song playing and everything. She walks on out, and then at the ending, we see Dana Brooke try to hit a swanton bomb off the top turnbuckle, but Becky Lynch moves and she smacks the mat. And then Becky Lynch lifts her up so she can hit the Bexploder onto Dana Brooke, but then Dana Brooke trips her down and then rolls her up for the jackknife cover. And Asuka grabs her foot as well for Dana Brooke to get the 3 count. So yeah, Dana Brooke defeated Becky Lynch and has retained the 24/7 championship. That's what happened. Don't know what to say about the match. I'll just give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, the biggest match for the 24/7 title, I guess. But yeah, later on tonight, there'll be a Fatal 4-Way No More Contenders match for the Raw Women's Championship later on tonight. Not only that, the Usos versus the Street Profits in a Championship Contenders match. And we're going to figure out who's going to be the newest member of Judgment Day. And up next, we're going to be seeing The Miz and Maurice hosting Miz TV up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw, now we get to Miz hosting Miz TV. Now Maurice is with them, and he was talking about the premiere of Miz and Mrs. because they'll have the season 3, and they'll be dropping 2 episodes after Raw tonight. That's what he was talking about, and he was talking about that this is the season premiere of Miz TV. So yeah, that's what he was talking about. But then Riddle interrupts him, and I guess Riddle was supposed to be his guest, but he came out way too early, and pretty much he starts talking about how he's going to go after Roman Reigns for putting out his friend Randy Orton, and he wants to go after the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. He said he wants to take that away from Roman since he took Randy away from him. So yeah, that's what he said. And then Miz was telling Riddle to shut up and all that, and then Riddle was talking about, like, they started talking about each other's balls. And that's what happened. Like, Riddle starts talking about Miz's balls. He was talking about how Miz got tiny balls, and then Maurice was like, no, he don't got tiny balls. He got average balls. No, he got massive balls. So yeah, Maurice was talking about Miz's balls, and of course fans started chanting about it. And then Riddle said he wants a match against Miz, and Miz was like, nah, you don't get no match against me. And then Miz and Maurice starts getting out the ring, and then Riddle, Riddle was looking at them, and then Tommaso Ciampa attacks, Ciampa now attacks Riddle from behind, hitting a knee to the face and all of that, taking him down. So it looks like Ciampa is aligning himself with Miz now. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then Miz grabs the mic. He goes like, well, you know what? I have that match against you right now, and then we'll get a match underway. And Miz is not even in his ring attire; he's actually wearing the dress clothes or whatever. So yeah, it was a Miz with Maurice at ringside versus Riddle 1-on-1. So yeah, Miz versus Riddle, and it was all right. Fans start chanting tiny balls to Miz, and Riddle at one point ripped off Miz's dress clothes and stuff, and that's what started the chant. But then at the ending, we see Miz grab Maurice's purse so he could hit Riddle with it, but then Riddle ducks, and then hits the RKO onto Miz, pins him for the 3 count, and it was all over there. So yeah, Riddle defeated the Miz tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. I'll give that match 1 star. That's what I'll give it. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Street Profits versus the Usos in a Championship Contenders match up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw, it was a tag team match. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits in a tag team match. Now, this is a Championship Contenders match, so yeah, if the Street Profits wins, they will become the number 1 contenders for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. So yeah, that's what the match is about. And, right when the match started, Angelo Dawkins was trying to go for some quick pins, like trying to roll up Jimmy Uso and stuff, like backslides and all that. So yeah, it was pretty quick and pretty fast in the start, but then it started slowing down a little bit more when it got to the end a little bit. At the ending, we see Jay, Uso, and Montez going at it outside of the ring. They was a legal man, and they was starting getting counted by the referee. At one point, Jay Uso ran Montez Ford face first into the ring post, and then grabs him and runs him into the barricade. And then he was trying to hit the super kick onto Montez Ford, but Montez ducks down, and he picked up Jay Uso, throwing him over the barricade. And then he got back in, like barely getting back in, and Jay Uso got counted out. So yeah, the Street Profits defeated the Usos tonight in the Championship Contenders match. So yeah, the Street Profits are now the number 1 contenders for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. It was an okay match. Don't like it when it ends in countouts, and not only that, we've seen Street Profits versus the Usos a million times. But other than that, The Street Profits versus the Usos will happen again, possibly at Money in the Bank for the tag team titles. So yeah, the titles will be defended, it looks like, soon. And Riddle came out celebrating with the Street Profits. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing Bobby Lashley on Monday Night Raw up next. That will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we see Bobby Lashley come out to the ring, and he was talking about MVP, how he considered MVP to be a part of his family and all that for over the years and everything. And then all of a sudden, with MVP turning his back on Bobby Lashley, he said that he just stopped giving a crap, and then it felt so good that he put on a hurt lock on him and made him tap out and made him scream and all that. But he said he's on to bigger and better things. He wants to move away from MVP and Omos. That he wants to, and then after he said he's on to bigger and better things, he starts looking up at the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then all of a sudden the United States Champion Theory comes out, and the fans was going like booing the hell out of him. Like, I don't even think they just like hate him. I think it's just like go away heat, like how X-Pac used to have back in '01. So yeah, that go away heat, it looks like, with Theory. But yeah, Theory had told the fans to shut up and all that because he was booing the hell out of him. And then Theory gets in the ring and he starts talking crap to Bobby Lashley, telling him it's not his time, it's my time, and you got to get out the ring and all that. But before you get out the ring, let's take a selfie. And then Lashley was like, no, actually I do got a problem. This is my ring, it's my time, now you get the hell out of my ring. So yeah, that's what he said. And then Theory was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then Bobby Lashley was like, okay, cool. I mean, you can stay in here, but I want you to put the United States Championship on the line against me then. And then Theory was like, no, I'm not going to put my United States Championship on the line against you. And then he starts walking away, and then Bobby Lashley kicks him like right in the ass pretty much and kicked him right out the ring. So yeah. And then Theory starts walking away. So yep, that's what happened there. But it looks like we're going to have a feud between them two for the United States Championship. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Not even going to lie. This will probably be Theory's biggest rivalry for the U.S. title, actually. Like, Mustafa Ali with their rivalry was okay, but the Bobby Lashley one, we're going to see what this rivalry can do. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. But, yeah, it was a pretty good segment, though. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Mysterios up next on Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Veer Mahaan versus Dominik Mysterio with Rey Mysterio at ringside. So you had Dominik Mysterio versus Veer Mahaan one-on-one. And Dominik, I'm not even going to lie, just noticing it now that he's actually getting a lot more better in the ring as time has gone. So yeah, Dominik has been getting a lot more better in the ring. I'm not even going to lie. But at one point in this match, we seen Dominik running away from Veer most of the time to try and warm him out and stuff. But then at one point, Veer ran his shoulder into the ring post. Dominik hits the 619 onto him while he's on the ring post, and then climbed up the top turnbuckle, jumping off with a frog splash, pins Veer. Veer kicked out at 1, and then Veer pushed Dominik back because Dominik was trying to hit the tornado DDT on him. And then Veer hits that vicious clothesline, turning Dominik inside out. And then he was going to lock on the cervical clutch. He was about to lock it on, but Rey Mysterio comes up from out of nowhere, drop kicking Veer off of Dominik, and then it led to DQ. So yeah, Veer Mahaan defeated Dominik Mysterio by disqualification, and then Rey got Dominik out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Veer Mahaan won by DQ because of that, but what can you do? But it was an okay match, not even going to lie. But like I said, I hate when matches ends in DQs and countouts and all that, but it looks like this feud is going to keep on continuing because it's been going on for 2 months now, so might as well keep on going. So yeah. But for that match and stuff, I'll give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. But up next, we're going to be seeing Judgment Day because we're going to be introducing the newest member up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that'll be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we see Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley the Judgment Day come out to the ring, and of course they was going to be introducing their newest member of the Judgment Day. So yeah, they was going to bring out the newest member, but before they was going to do that, they was talking about how tonight Rhea Ripley will win the Fatal 4-Way match to become the number one contender to go against Bianca Belair and then take away the Raw Women's Championship and bring it to the Judgment Day and all that. So yeah, that's what he was talking about. And then they introduced the newest member of the Judgment Day, and it was Finn Balor. So yeah, Finn Balor comes out, and he was talking about like why he joined the Judgment Day, how he's seen like when he climbed up the top turnbuckle and he was going to hit his finisher move, the coup de grace onto Edge, that Rhea Ripley stepped in front of him and pretty much got in his way and all that, and he looked at her eyes and then he knew why. And then he said after the show, he was talking to Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest after the show, and pretty much started getting into talks and stuff. And that's what Priest and Ripley went up to Edge and pretty much mentioned Finn Balor to bring him into Judgment Day. So yeah, that's how it came all about. And then all of a sudden, Damian Priest was talking about you taught us, Edge, of a lot of things. You taught us about get rid of the limitations and all that and be ourselves, join the dark side and all that. And he said, you know what? You was absolutely right. You was right. And we only got one more limitation. The Edge looks at me. He goes like, yeah, the limitation is you. And then they started attacking Edge. All three of them. Ripley, Priest, and Balor. It was beating him down and everything. And then Damian Priest picked him up, his sit-out chokeslam onto Edge. And then Finn Balor climbed up the top turnbuckle, jumping off of the coup de grace on the Edge. And they were still beating him down, threw him outside the ring. And then Damian Priest hit a Razor's Edge onto Edge through the announce table, laying him out. But Edge was still trying to fight back. They threw him back into the ring, brought in a few steel chairs. A bunch of referees and WWE officials was trying to stop it and everything, but Ripley was making sure that they was going to stay out the ring and stuff, scaring them off with the steel chair. And then we seen Balor break off a leg of the steel chair and using that like a crossface or whatever, sticking it in his mouth and everything, choking him out. And then we see them grab another steel chair, put his Edge's head on top of that steel chair, and Damian Priest held up the other steel chair and slams it against his head. So yeah, hitting the concerto onto Edge, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened. Finn Balor is the newest member of Judgment Day, and it looks like he is going to be the leader of it now, and Edge has now been kicked out of his own group. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. We want to see what will happen now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Finn Balor's, it looks like Finn Balor now turned heel, and it looks like Edge will be coming out as a babyface whenever he returns. So yeah, it looks like he'll be out for a little bit, possibly until SummerSlam, and then we'll see Edge versus Finn Balor or whatever at SummerSlam. So yeah, but yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, like I said, we're going to see what else happens after this. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. But later on tonight on Monday Night Raw, we will see Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop versus Liv Morgan in a Fatal 4-Way No More Contenders match later on tonight on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Omos with MVP at ringside versus Cedric Alexander one-on-one. So yeah, Omos versus Cedric Alexander. And the match was pretty quick. It only lasted 10 or 15 seconds. Cedric right off the bat started attacking Omos, punching him and everything, and then Omos had enough. Hits that two-handed chokeslam onto Cedric and then pins over the 3 count. So yeah, Omos defeated Cedric Alexander tonight on Raw, and then after the match ended, we seen Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs, return on Monday Night Raw. They go up to that podium thing to get interviewed and stuff, and the MVP comes up and he goes no, they don't deserve camera time. Omos deserves camera time because he just had the quickest victory in his career and all that, and y'all are going to take the camera away from him. And then all of a sudden Dolph Ziggler hits the super kick onto MVP. MVP falls off the podium thing, and then Omos catches MVP and then Ziggler and Rhodes start running off backstage, and then Omos and MVP starts chasing after him. So yeah, that's what happened there with everything. I don't know if I should even give it a rating, but at the most I'll probably give it a half of a star, I guess. So yeah, or a quarter of it at least. So yeah, that's what I'll give it. But up next, later on tonight we'll see that Fatal 4-Way No More Contenders match on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Ezekiel versus Otis one-on-one. They had Chad Gable at ringside as well. So yeah, Otis versus Ezekiel. It was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we seen Otis, tossing around Ezekiel and stuff. And then Ezekiel at one point actually got like a crucifix pin onto Otis, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, Ezekiel defeated Otis tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But then after the match ended, we see Ezekiel grab the mic and he's calling out Kevin Owens because he wants a rematch against Kevin Owens. And then Kevin Owens comes out and then he looks at him. He goes like, yeah, I'll give you the rematch unless you can do this. Tell everybody that you are Elias. And then Ezekiel looks at him and he goes like, fine, I am Elias. And then Kevin Owens was like, I knew it. And then Ezekiel was like, do I get the match? And Owens was like, sure, I just wanted you to tell everybody that you're Elias, and I just want to beat the hell out of you again next week on Raw. So yeah, that's what Owens was saying. And then Ezekiel was like, by the way, Kevin, I took a play out of your playbook, and I'm not Elias, I'm Ezekiel. And then Kevin Owens tried to run at Elias, and then Elias hit the jumping knee onto him. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, it'll be the Fatal 4-Way match. Up next in the main event. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was the main event. It was a Fatal 4-Way No More Contenders match. Winner of this match goes against Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank for the Raw Women's Championship. So it was Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop versus Liv Morgan in a Fatal 4-Way match. I know Nikki Ash was at ringside for Doudrop for this match. And it was a pretty good Fatal 4-Way match. Not even going to lie. At one point, we actually seen Doudrop try and hit like a superplex onto Rhea Ripley off the top turnbuckle. And then Alexa and Liv comes up from underneath her, hitting a powerbomb while the superplex happened as well. Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss win for the pin on Doudrop and Rhea Ripley, pinning both of them at the same time, but they both kicked out. And then at one point, they was rolling each other up, going around and around the ring, Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan was. And then we get to the ending where Alexa Bliss hits the DDT onto Liv Morgan. And then she climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with Twisted Bliss. But Liv puts her knees up. Alexa lands on her knees. Doudrop gets in the ring, taking out Alexa. And then starts working on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan actually at one point jumps off the second rope with a springboard Codebreaker pretty much onto Doudrop. Stuns Doudrop, so Doudrop's up against the ropes. Liv Morgan was trying to hit her finishing move, that flatliner move or whatever, off the ropes. But then Nikki Ash comes up, grabbing Liv Morgan's foot and stuff, so she wouldn't hit her move, and Liv hits the mat and stuff. And then Alexa Bliss comes up, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Ash say double clothesline on each other outside the ring, taking each other out. And then Doudrop then picks up Liv Morgan, hits the Michinoku driver onto Liv Morgan, that sit-out scoop slam. Pins her 1, 2. Rhea Ripley comes in there, breaking up the pin with a drop kick on a Doudrop. And then she was setting up for the Riptide, and then Doudrop was elbowing her a few times in the face, but then still got hit with the Riptide anyways from Rhea Ripley, and then Ripley pinned her for the 3 count. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Doudrop, Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss tonight in the Fatal 4-Way match. And she is now the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, she'll be taking on Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank for the Raw Women's Championship. Pretty good match. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. Easily match of the night, in my opinion. Best segment of the night, probably Finn Balor joining Judgment Day, to be honest. Or the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes segment. That was a pretty good segment as well. Even though that feud should freaking end already, still a pretty damn good segment. Like, can't say it was, Hopefully, like, the Hell in a Cell match is supposed to be a freaking feud ender. and the feud is still going. But other than that, it's still good shit. Not even gonna lie. But other things on Monday Night Raw, it was so. Like Miz versus Riddle, didn't care for that one really. The Usos versus the Street Profits, it just has stupid ending. But other than that, it was a pretty good match. And some other stuff on Raw, just Monday Night Raw being Monday Night Raw, I guess. But yeah, it was okay, I guess. For tonight's Monday Night Raw, I'll give it 7.5 stars out of 10. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. That's what I'll give it. It was an okay show. Nothing too big. But yeah, Money in the Bank is on its way. Got done with Hell in a Cell. Money in the Bank down the corner. But yeah, that has been my Monday Night Raw reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Until then.